Payne with a sack that time.
A loss of 9 brings up 4th down.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Here we go. At their own 28-yard line.
Check, ready. I'm on the base. Check. Watch the before. Bring it.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Ekeler. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 33-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's put that thing into
On 2nd down, Ekeler. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, L.A. Austin Ekeler with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
From the gun on 3rd down. Ball. That one is caught by Hunt. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun. Ball. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Here's Ekeler to begin the drive. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 26, check 26.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call.
Tie your rope, tie your rope. Put it, check, put it. That's right. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Hey, let's get that ball. Let's get that ball right here. Kill. Begin.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go.
They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Check, cross. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover. And turn it out.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check, lucky.
Now a toss play to Eckler. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the 1st. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And this one is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun. Ball. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. He'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ball. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down at the 43. A gain there of 21 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
On third down, Ball. Open man is Gordon, complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 25-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Ball. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 18-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And Hunt is not going to get there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is a well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
On second down now, it's Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for. And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. Third and long. Operating from the gun. Ball. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Charger drive about to get going. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
This is Hunt on the draw play. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Once more, here's Eckler. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Off the bootleg, King. He'll get this to Eckler. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a third down. King now. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Robert Kimdichie. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up fourth down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
It's now 3rd down.
To throw on 3rd down. Ball. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They started on the ground with Eckler. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, 97 yards. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. He's been having a great game, and that one right there, his best run so far, and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
Around the NFL, 3rd quarter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. And the Falcons sort of opening things up there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. He stiff arms him. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, ball, and the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminate it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Ball. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Charger drive about to get going. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephon Tuitt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Now this time he'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They run again with Hunt. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun. Ball nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And his kick here is good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
He's right. He's checking credit.
Here's King, operating from the gun. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Whip. Watch the whip. Switch. Zip it.
Off play action. King sliding out of the pocket. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Rush in. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. Aguilar has it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a quick throw here. That's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Alert 3. SOS.
King off the play fake. They'll roll him out right. He's going to take off with it, and he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On the ground, it's Eckler, and he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Check.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Mecole Hardman, his 6th touchdown of the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face, and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
Go!
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Looking to throw on second down. Ball. Room here to run. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense.